Well, I've made it back up to the cabin. I've got the gas stove that I removed from that old camper last week. I've got the refrigerator up here. I've got the mirror up here. I have the mirror all installed. I'll take you inside the cabin and give you a look at that. So my sweet wife will be very happy. What I had was a little tiny mirror, which was enough for me, but she always complained about it. So I found that mirror in there, and I figured she would like it. So anyways, what I've been up here doing this week, and I'm very happy to announce, I have finally got all of my buildings here at the cabin hooked up to the solar system. I have a light in the woodshed. I have a receptacle in the woodshed. My fire building has power and receptacles. The log cabin was the last on the line. Now there's some lights and receptacles in there. The biggest reason, you do a lot of stuff up here after dark. If you fish and hunt until dark, you get back here at the cabin, you have to cut firewood for the wood stove. You have to split up some kindling, stuff like that. So that's why I wanted to get the solar system in and up. I never come out of the woods until it's well after dark. Sometimes I have a 45-minute to an hour hike just to get back to the four-wheeler, or a hike out here to the cabin. So a lot of times it's a couple of hours after dark. So, but the other main thing for power here is, since I started YouTube, keeping batteries charged for the camera and the laptop is a real headache up here. I usually come up for 1 week to 2 weeks at a time, so carrying enough battery life for that just doesn't work out too good. So now that the solar system is up, I have plenty of juice, and it's one more piece that comes to my cabin right here. I cut all of my firewood from the property, and now I can gather all of my electricity that I need from the property, from the sun. So I think that is one more step to being off the grid. The name of this cabin is Off the Grid, and I believe that off the grid means as fewer outside services as possible, whether that means buying your firewood or whatever. Basically, the only thing that I cannot produce here is gasoline. I can find my own food. I can now I can get my electricity, and like I said, I get my firewood from the property. The gas supply comes in from the back here, so I'm going to disconnect this. I will bring you around so you can see. I'm going to disconnect that piece of 3/8 copper, and I'm just going to run a temporary one right now, because I'm just going to hook it up to a propane cylinder tank and then light everything, make sure it all works. And if it all works, then I'll be cleaning up the stove and then building a permanent counter for it. There it is, 20-pound tank. The regulator off a gas grill, and then in here, that piece of 3/8 copper tubing right there sticking out from the back, that's the piece that goes in right up in the front there. You can see down in there is a piece of 3/8 copper that runs up there. This piece right here, I'm going to remove that now and then hook that tank up to that and then light everything. I'm using a 7/8, and this one is a 9/16 on the other end. There's two pieces. That doesn't fit. 11/16 and a 7/8. All of these are always a 7/8 on propane. Still doesn't want to fit. 5/8. Blooper, 5/8, 7/8. This piece here is always a 7/8. really, after I get this piece off and hooked up, this thing should light with no problems at all, other than maybe the oven. But as far as the burners should take right off. You can save this. I got a shop full of gas parts. I don't throw anything away this way. This is still good. I've got a little tool over there for cutting it. I'll cut it, show you how easy it is to cut. If you've never have cut copper before, this is a copper tubing cutter. All it is a little knife blade in there. You put it on, you tighten it up. Don't squeeze it, just put it on a little bit, go around a couple times, another half a turn. This is a turning handle, another half a turn. Another half a turn. See that? It cuts right off nicely. Then there's another tool over there later on. I guess I'll show you now. You can make this flare real easy, and then this piece goes on just as easily. So I will flare this tool, this over here, and then I'll have a double-ended piece. I'm taking the time to show how to do this because I believe stuff like this is also bushcraft skills. The ability to take and make something from nothing, I think is a huge asset in your everyday life. To hire a gas guy to come out to your cabin is expensive, and who knows what the future holds for us. So being able to, and this is all this does is squeeze it. I'm not really a teacher. I know how to do stuff. But this right here, this squeezes the piece of pipe so that it'll stay still. This is a 3/8 piece of pipe. This is a 3/8 notch for it. So you crank her down. And then you got this piece right here. And this fits over that. I guess it fits over my other one. I got to switch to the other one. This piece is down in the shop. I like that other one better. A lot better than this old one. But it still works. I've had it for a long time. But anyways, I think this is part of bushcraft skills as well, because if everything goes to hell in a handbasket, you're not going to be able, if you got a few supplies around that you didn't throw away, or you've taken the time to learn how to do this, other bushcraft skills, and that's why I was talking about earlier in this video, just being able to do the stuff that's out in the woods, I don't think is going to be enough if you're in a situation. It is, if you're out there camping, stuff like that, and you get in trouble, or you're on a hike, of course it is. But I'm talking about everyday skills. I'm talking about if everything around you, everybody talks about bugging out and all that, so you must have a pretty scary place to live. But anyways, if you don't know how to do the basics, like take a piece of junk and be able to turn it into something that's useful, then to me, it's just skills that you probably should learn how to do. This is you could take this old stove, as long as you know how to flare pipes and all that. And then this goes on here. You turn that down. You see that? Made a flare. And now that you know how to do this, any gas appliance, and if you're at your cabin or something like that, and you need to run a propane light, or you need to hook up a gas stove, it's easy to do. See that? And then this piece, this flared piece, this is the other end. See, this sets up against there. That's why it's a little bit round. It sets up against there, and then you put this on, and then when it pulls up tight, then it won't leak. Here's my 20-pound propane tank. Like I said, this is just a temporary thing. I just want to hook this up and see what works on the stove and what doesn't. What I'm going to do is I'm going to light these burners. Then I'm going to take this apart and set it up on the bench so that I can give you a little better view. Just need to tighten this one in here. I want to make sure it's not leaking. And how you test for leaks is you take some dish soap. You take some dish soap and a little bit of water and then spray it around this fitting. And if it makes any bubbles at all, then you have a gas leak. And you just need to tighten stuff up. All right, that's going to take care of that. I'm going to go get a match and we're going to light this thing. All right, the gas is on. You can hear gas. You hear it? I don't know if you can hear it or see it, but all 4 burners are burning. I mean, all 3 burners. Sorry about that. I got some birch bark here. I'm not sure if you could see the flame in there. So that burner's working. Okay, I don't know if you can see this one back here. And then we got a burner back here. I don't know if you can, I'll put that, I don't know if you can see, I'm hoping. Kind of hard to probably see flame out here. But, so the burners are working, so now I'm going to set it up on the bench and we're going to try to light the oven. While I got you here at a good angle, you get the burners, they're not on a shut-off valve, but the oven is on a shut-off valve. See right here? This is a shut-off valve right here. You have to open that up to get gas to flow to the oven part. So I just wanted to show you. You lift up the lid, there's the lever for the oven. All right, and then there's a coil in here that goes down to the oven. That gives you the temperature and all that stuff. Okay, I've got the cover off the burner in there. And now what I'm going to try to do is get back to where the pilot is. There's a thermostat that sticks out in there. And sometimes you got to warm them up in order to get them to let the gas flow. Oh, it's already lit. Nice. You see that? I don't know if you can see. The oven lit. Hopefully you'll be able to see when that fills up with gas. Hopefully you saw it light. Here's a piece of birch bark. So my outside kitchen at the cabin has got an oven. I like biscuits and I like to make meatloaf up here at the cabin, so that'll make some pretty good suppers. At the end of this video, I have marked out some recommendations for you about off-grid cabin living, the lifestyle that I have chosen in northern Maine. Subscribe to my channel, ring the heck out of my bell so you don't miss any of the notifications. Click one of the recommendations and I will see you in the next one.